Welcome to another episode of After All.
Let's start reading.
Yeah, today I thought we would do a Bible study with Jane. So Jane, what do you see in the picture here?
Man and other man running.
Yeah, what are they doing?
What are they doing the big rope?
They have rope? What's the rope tied to?
I think it's tied to the thing he's laying on.
Yeah, what's he laying on?
Board, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Do you guys know what story we're reading today? We're in Luke chapter 5. Going to be reading from verse 17 all the way down to verse 26. You ready?
I think you should help me read too.
Yeah? Can you show them your pictures while I read? Show them to the camera while I read the story. One day, while Jesus was teaching, some Pharisees and teachers of religious law were sitting nearby. It seemed that these men showed up from every village in all Galilee and Judea, as well as from Jerusalem, and the Lord's healing power was strongly with Jesus. Some men came carrying a paralyzed man on a sleeping mat. Oh, apparently, Jane, it's not a board. Apparently, it's a sleeping mat. I think it's like a board, though, because you shouldn't be able to lower something floppy. It'd have to be hard. They tried to take him inside to Jesus, but they couldn't reach him because of the crowd. So they went up to the roof and took off some tiles. Then they lowered the sick man on his mat down into the crowd, right in front of Jesus. Seeing their faith, Jesus said to the man, "Young man, your sins are forgiven." But the Pharisees and teachers of religious law said to themselves, "Who does he think he is? That's blasphemy. Only God can forgive sins." Jesus knew what they were thinking, so he asked them, "Why do you question this in your hearts? Is it easier to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or 'Stand up and walk'? So I will prove to you that the Son of Man has the authority on earth to forgive sins." Then Jesus turned to the man who was paralyzed. Jane, what does paralyzed mean? Well, think about it. Do you see this guy standing up and walking? Really? Where is he walking? Which picture? He's not. Paralyzed means you can't move right. So sometimes only a leg is paralyzed, and it's just like, it's a floppy leg. You can't move it, you can't kick, you can't walk. Sometimes it means both legs are paralyzed, and you can't move either of them. Sometimes it means all of your body is paralyzed, and your arms, and your legs, and everything, and you can blink. That's about it. Blink, blink, blink. That's all you can do. So paralyzed just means you can't move right. And you have to read the story to figure out what kind of paralyzed. What part is paralyzed? Okay, so he said to the paralyzed man, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and go home." That's what Jesus said to this guy. Do you think he can do that?
I think so.
But he's paralyzed. How does he do it?
I don't know.
If Jesus says, "Stand up and walk" to a man who can't walk, what'll happen?
I don't know.
Let's see what happens. Verse 25, and immediately as everyone watched, the man jumped up, picked up his mat, and went home praising God. Everyone was gripped with great wonder and awe, and they praised God, exclaiming, "We have seen amazing things today." So, Jane, what happened?
Got the roof, and then he went home.
And then he went home. How did he get home?
I don't know.
Did he walk home or did they carry him home?
I think he walked home.
What happened in between? He got down through the roof and he couldn't move when he was coming through the roof. They had to lower him for him. But then at the end of the story, he got to walk home. How did that happen?
I don't know.
Well, what happened in between?
He got lowered on his mat.
Yeah, right after that. Who's this guy?
Yes.
Well, what did Jesus do?
He helped him walk.
How did he do it?
I think he lifted. I think. I don't know what he did.
Listen again. Watch. It says this. He said to the paralyzed man, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and go home." That's all he did. He didn't pick him up. He just said, "Get up."
He did.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? His legs didn't work, but when Jesus told them to work, they worked. That's kind of like Jesus healed him. Jesus doesn't heal everyone the same way. Sometimes he puts his hand on you and says, "You're healed." Sometimes he takes dirt from the ground and he spits in the dirt and he mixes it together and makes spit dirt mud and he rubs it on your eyes and he makes your eyes work again with spit mud. And sometimes he just says, "Get up, walk." He just commands you to do the right thing. And suddenly you're able to do what he commands you. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
He doesn't heal everyone the same way. He doesn't always work the same way twice. Jane, I'm curious. What do you think we can learn from this story?
I don't know.
What do you think you can learn about Jesus from this story?
I don't know.
Think. Don't just say I don't know. Okay. Who's in the story? We've got the friends. We've got the man. We've got Jesus. Think about these friends.
Who's this?
They don't tell it to us. Think about the friends here. Could they make him walk?
No.
They didn't have that kind of power? They couldn't do miracles like Jesus? So, does that mean that there was nothing they could do for their friend?
I don't know.
Well, Jane, think about it. How did the paralyzed man get to meet Jesus?
I don't know.
Could he walk to Jesus?
Yeah.
Not at the beginning of the story, huh? At the beginning of the story, he was paralyzed. He couldn't walk at all. So how did he get to Jesus?
I didn't even know.
Yeah, and even how did he get on the roof?
My friends didn't him up.
The friends got him up. That's right. So they couldn't fix him. They couldn't heal him. But they could bring him to Jesus. Do you see how it seemed like there was nothing they could do? But what they really could do...
What's this?
That's their rope. What they really could do is bring the problem to God and let God fix the problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Jane, have you ever had a problem that was really hard?
I don't think so.
No problems that were really hard? What about being nice to Emma when she's screaming?
That's really a problem.
That's really a problem. So, can you fix that problem and make her stop screaming every time? Sometimes you can, but not every time, huh? What can you do when the problem is bigger than you? What did they do when the problem is too big for them?
Climb on the roof.
Climb on the roof. That's a good answer. So when Emma's screaming, should you go climb on the roof?
Yeah.
No. Why did they climb on the roof?
There's no way.
There was no way in the normal way, and they had to find a way to get to God. And for them, climbing on the roof got them to God. So what could you do when Emma's screaming and there's nothing you can do to fix it?
Oh no.
You gotta talk to God. That's what you do. When things are too big for you, you talk to God.
But don't scream.
Like when Emma's screaming, or what's another big problem you have?
Someone got paralyzed. What could we do if there was a crowd and Jesus was with the crowd?
What could we do?
I don't know.
You had me. I thought you had an answer.
We might, climb on the roof if there was a paralyzed guy which couldn't walk.
That's a really good point. What about if you had a job to do that you didn't like?
What could we do?
What could we do? Jane, what could we do when Emma was screaming? Pray to God. So what could we do when we have a big job we don't want to do? Do you think praying to God might help with that too?
I think so.
Yeah. He has the right answer and the right attitude for us. And when we have a bad attitude or we don't know the answer or we're scared, we can talk to him. And he'll always have the answer for us. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So what are you going to try and do next time something's really hard?
Pray to God.
Yeah, that's a good answer. It'll help. Nothing helps more than that.
And now it's time to worship.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. your love has no bounds. Oh Jesus, your love has no bounds. Oh Jesus, your love has no bounds. Your love is deep, your love is wide, your love is great, your love is high, your love is all we ever need.
So far, 5 of you have taken our Week 2 challenge and done something that really blessed your families.
So Abby came down for the challenge and she weeded and tilled up the ground in Grandpa's boxes so he could start his planting soon.
Well, Hunter, you did it. You racked up the most points during Week 2, and so we invited you as your reward to DeGarmo Park for a surprise. We got you your favorite lunch from Big Tuna, and we had a picnic with you. We invited Rowan along, too, because we love him. Well, I hope you had fun, Hunter. I hope you had fun too, Rowan. And we look forward to crowning our next winner next Wednesday. And we love you guys. Till then, make sure you do the quiz. The quicker you take it, the more effort you put into the answers, the more points you're going to get. And we love you guys. Bye.